Hey. I hope everybody had a really great long weekend. So, for those of you here that are big fans of Jen Sincero, you are a badass. You are a badass at making money. I am a big fan. But you've probably heard the saying, don't take money advice from your broke friends, right? Or you probably heard somebody say something similar to that. And so that applies a great deal to what I'm talking about today, which is mompreneurship doesn't have to be lonely. Okay. I'll tie the two together in a minute. Bear with me. So I know a lot of us can feel very lonely, especially, when you're a new mom, I'm telling you, I know it can get lonely. You feel like you're the only person stuck in this space, especially if you suffer from postpartum anxiety, postpartum depression. If you don't have a support system, it can feel very lonely. Even if you have an enormous support system and a bunch of people there, it can still feel lonely. Same goes for entrepreneurship. It can feel very lonely because not everybody around us knows what we're going through. Not everybody around us understands why we are so committed to what we're doing, or why we would want to take on the stress, or why we would want to, deal with the stuff day to day, right? You break down into a puddle of tears in front of your best friend and she goes, "Why are you doing this to yourself?" Right? Not everybody is going to understand. And so when you are going after a goal, trying to raise small humans, pursuing a passion, doing anything, it can feel lonely because it can feel like you're the only person that understands why. And it's true. You are the only person that understands why. Here's the thing. Nobody else is ever, oh, my chicken is angry. Sorry. I am rehabbing my chicken. And no, she's not a recovering alcoholic, but that's okay. But she is injured. And so I am trying to help her be well. So if you hear her squawk, I am not hurting her. Where was I? Okay. So it can feel, it's not anybody else's job to understand your passion and your why. That being said, it is really important to find a tribe somewhere, to find people somewhere that not only understand your, like, the passion behind being an entrepreneur and being a mompreneur, but also understands some of the challenges that come up, the struggles, what the day-to-day roller coaster can be like, right? It's like 1 minute you are on top of the world, and the next minute you're like, hi Adriana, I am a loser. What am I doing? I'm going to bankrupt my family. But here's the thing. We all feel that way. And speaking of Adriana, so I'm going to give you my real life experience with this today. Okay. So last week I was having a low week. Energy wasn't there. Maybe it was my birthday. Maybe it was the new moon. Who knows what it was, but I was feeling a little stressed, overwhelmed, unsure, not sure if I was the girl for the job, or if I could do this, or if I was just crazy. And some of that is, past traumas. I had a business that did go bankrupt. I have failed at things. Who hasn't? And so here I was looking at all the things I was working on, wondering if it was just, if I was crazy, if I was just literally deluding myself, thinking I could do these things or I had any business doing it. And former me would have stayed there. I would have spiraled. I would have shelled up, right? I would have gone inside and shut everybody out and not talked to anybody about it. And I would have just stayed in this space. But I've been doing a lot of work and inner growth and inner work. And so I did something that would have been absolutely unheard of to me 5 years ago. I sent a Facebook message to Hannah Olivas at She Rises Studios. who is part of the mother-daughter duo that helps me bring all of my crazy ideas to life. If you haven't heard of She Rises Studios, get out there and find out who they are, because you're going to want to know them. But I reached out to her and I said, hey, I'm floundering a bit here. I was looking at my expenses and I was looking at what I'm doing, and I'm feeling a little concerned, and I'm feeling a little in over my head. Do you think we could talk? And I just said, look, I'm looking for some guidance, swift kick in the ass, maybe a little, hug afterwards. And she got back to me right away and said, sure, absolutely. How's Tuesday morning? And I was like, awesome, done. And I was then able to let all of that stuff down, right? Take it off of my shoulder, not carry the weight of the world on my shoulders, take it off, set it down, enjoy my weekend with my kids and my husband and my sister and her kids and her husband and my in-laws. Have a great Labor Day weekend with the family to end off the summer, knowing that this morning I got to sit down with Adriana and Hannah and talk about it, and I was heard, and they gave me feedback, and we, got some things cleared up. And that's the thing, is I don't know that I could have had that conversation with anyone else that lives, in my household, or that I, talk to on a regular basis, friend-wise, or, the parents at my kids' school. But here are two ladies that live in another country on another side of the continent who made time for me, and we talked through it, and I feel better. I have a game plan. I don't feel like I'm crazy. I don't feel like a loser. I don't feel like giving up. I don't feel like any of those things. I feel good. I feel encouraged. I know that bad days will still come, and I'm not just going to ride this wave off into the sunset, but I also know that I'm not alone. Okay. And that is empowering. And that is why it is key. Thank you. It is key that you find your tribe. Okay. And your tribe doesn't have to be a circle of friends that you can sit down and have coffee with. There are women I work with every day I have never met in person. There are women I work with every day I have never even seen on Zoom. Okay. And I trust them with things, and they trust me with things, and we work together, and we support each other. And it is a beautiful thing. And one day I will hug them all, but right now I can't. And so how can you go about finding your tribe, or how can you get the help that you need or feel less lonely? The first thing is you have to get over this idea that asking for help is imposing. Okay. I know for me, I never wanted to ask people for help because I didn't want to make my problems their burden. But I mean, I think it's a California Raisins song, Lean on Me, right? I don't know if you're my age or something, you might know that the California Raisins did a version of Lean on Me, but we all need to share the load, and people want to help. People want to be let inside. There are probably 5 or 10 people either in an online community or in your real life community, like physical community, or somewhere in your family that want you to let them in and let them know how they can help. But it feels super vulnerable, right? Like we don't want to admit that we can't do it all on our own. We don't want to look weak. We've somehow, we know how we've done this, but we've adopted this superwoman manifesto and disguise, and we're afraid that if we let people know that we are fallible, that we have weaknesses and faults, that somehow that will make us less worthy. But remember, you were born worthy. You don't have to earn your worthiness. And letting people in opens you up to receive love and support that you need. And people feel good when they get to help, right? Other people feel good helping people. So, don't need to feel like a burden. Like, I had to work really hard to get over that. And I still had to take a deep breath last week when I hit the send button. But I also knew that there was a potential that Hannah would give me another swift kick in the ass if she found out that I was going through a hard time and almost gave up and didn't let her know. And, you know, something went terribly wrong. She'd be like, why didn't you reach out? I'd be like, I didn't want to impose. So I love being kick in the ass. Like, you have to, if you knew how much I loved and adored Adriana and Hannah, you would get it. So getting over yourself and getting over this idea that you're imposing or that there's anything wrong with needing help. The second thing is to ask for help. Like, ask for it, but ask for it from the right people. Don't go to the people that have told you that they don't think you're ever going to succeed. Don't ask them for help. Don't do it. Don't go to the people that can look at a beautiful double rainbow and be like, oh, that must mean that the world's going to explode. Like, don't go to your pessimists. Don't go to your doomsdayers. Don't go to the people that don't believe in you. Find people that understand. You know what else? Don't go to people who have no idea what your life is all about. Like, that is something I learned very sadly after spending lots of money going to late 20, mid 20-year-old men who had no children, offering courses on how to start and grow an online business. And they had no idea about my life. And they thought I could be online, 18 hours a day and work it till 3 a.m. And if I wasn't doing it, I wasn't dedicated. Go to people that understand you, right? Find mentors, find a tribe, find women, moms that understand you, mom entrepreneurs, so that when the feedback comes back, when the advice comes in, it is actionable. It is something you could actually do, right? You don't need to ship your parent or your kids off to your parents' house for 3 weeks to be able to start business. So asking for help and making sure you're asking the right people is also key. And then finally, don't reinvent the wheel, right? There are a lot of women out there that have done a lot of the hard work already. So if you feel like, and here's the thing, this was a hard one for me. You're not a snowflake. Okay. I know we all want to imagine that we are these unique, intricately designed, and we are unique and intricately designed, but our problems are not so unique that no one in the world can possibly understand what we are going through, and no one in the world has experienced it before, and no one in the world could ever have a solution. Okay. And that's, when my food manufacturing business was going bankrupt, that's how I felt. I was like, no, but you don't get it. You just don't get it. People are like, no, these people went through it. And I was like, yeah, but they're this. And I found a million reasons why everybody was so different from me, when really they weren't, right? They weren't that different. But that's why I wrote a book, 10 Things You Need to Know About Small Business Bankruptcy in Canada, was because I wanted to share my experience so other people would know they weren't alone. But you're not alone, okay? And there are solutions out there, and there are people that want to help you. You got to open up a little bit. Risk, vulnerability, right? This goes back to everything we talked about last week and the week before. Take the risk. Do the thing that scares you. Ask for help. You just might get to feel better. And at the very least, you can practice asking for help, right? That's cool. Someone says no. People say no to me all the time. I just, tell myself they were having a bad day. No, but in all seriousness, it can get scary and dark and lonely sometimes as a mom, as an entrepreneur, as a mompreneur, really in any stage in life. But there are people who want to help. All you have to do is ask. And if you are someone watching this or watching the replay and you need to ask someone for help and you don't know who to go to, start with me. Okay. My DMs are always open. Drop a comment below. You want to chat because you could use some help with your business? Let's chat, right? I'm pretty approachable, even if I'm a little bit, but But yeah, so it doesn't have to be lonely, is what I'm saying. And I learned that, thank you. I learned that firsthand when I had the courage to ask for help. So thank you all. It has been a treat. I would love to hear your feedback, your thoughts, your comments. If there's something else you would like talked about, please shoot me a line. And as always, remember, the woman you see when you look in the mirror is exactly what a successful entrepreneur looks like. Be well. Bye.